Welcome back, everyone, to another Girl Power My Hero Academia Day Zero deck build. Today we've got Pony Tsunotori, the US exchange student for Class 1B. This was an interesting one to build. Pony is a very interesting character. As you can see, she's got 4 enhances, but before we get into that, she is a 7-hand size, 22 health character. Tripped on my own tongue for a second there. She has 1B in student for her character traits, and her symbols are air, earth, and fire. And like I think most people, I chose the earth symbol for this build for one very specific reason. But we'll get into that in a minute. So as I said, she has 4 enhances. The first is discard 2 cards, add 2 horn counters to this card, draw 1 card. So for the cost of 2 cards, you draw 1 card, and you get 2 horn counters on your character. And what you can do with those horn counters is pretty fun. As an enhance, you can remove 1 horn counter. This attack gets +2 or -2 speed. That's pretty good. As another enhance, you can remove 2 horn counters, change the zone of this attack. That's really defensive and offensive, so you can change your rival's zone to perfectly block their attack, or you can change your own zone to try to get an off-zone block on your rival. Or you can remove 3 horn counters as another enhance to clear 1 card from your card pool. So you can either load up your horn counters and dump a bunch of speed on a full string, or you can mix up your zones, play that very defensively to try to perfectly block your rival and make the most of our 22 health that we have here. I just realized you can't see my pointer. Or you can remove 3 horn counters to keep your own progressive difficulty down. So she has a lot of different ways you can play her, with a couple of different ways to gain horn counters and what you can do with those horn counters, so she's pretty toolboxy in that way. But the main reason I built her off of Earth was for this attack, One for All Unleashed. This attack is very dangerous. It is a 6 difficulty, 1 control, it's a 5 mid for 6 with the Fury and Punch keywords. It has a response that goes off in your card pool once per enhanced step. After you discard a card to pay a cost during your attack, you get to build the discarded card face down. So when Pony discards 2 cards to gain 2 horn counters, she draws a card, and she's allowed to build one of those cards face down as a ready foundation. So if we check a 5 and we commit 1 for this 6 diff, pay our cost with Pony, we get a ready foundation right back. And we get 2 horn counters, which can make this a 7 mid 6 or a 5 low 6 or what have you. And then in Deadlock it's dangerous because we get to draw 4 cards. As a 7-hander that wants to pay cards out of her hand to gain all of these counters, because the enhance to gain your horn counters and discard 2 cards to draw 1 is not once per turn. So you can use that as often as you have attacks and cards in your hand with which to pay that cost. So drawing 4 cards in Deadlock is really, really good. Again, this has a 1 control. You can't quite see. I'm blocking it. There you go. It's got a 1 check. Right down here. So that is spooky. I will 100% give you that. So this build might turn a lot of people off, simply because of the high difficulty, low control of this 1 card. But that's kind of been the build around for this deck, kind of showing what she can do to make the most out of her cost. Next we have Horn Cannon. This is her common attack, it's a 3 mid 5, it's got Echo. So as long as you have a momentum, after this attack resolves, you can spend that momentum to play this card again from your card pool. So that's really good, because this 1 attack turning into 2 gives you 2 instances to gain horn counters. And then after this card flips and you play another attack, you can remove 3 of those 4 horn counters to clear this face-down card from your card pool. So, pretty fun. We have Instant Shining Flash. This on play forces your rival to spend a momentum, so it's good momentum control. And you can, as an enhance, flip a foundation. The next card you try to play gets -1 difficulty. So that helps aid our strings as we're trying to draw more cards, use more counters, and make our higher difficulty attacks like Horn Cannon and One for All Unleashed a little bit cheaper. We have Hunter's Pursuit. I think this card gels really well with Pony and the One for All Unleashed strategy. It's a 5 low 5 with EX2, so As an enhance, you can spend any number of your momentum, and for each one you spend, you get 2 speed on this attack. But as an enhance, if you have 3 or more face-down foundations, your next attack gets -2 difficulty. So again, pushing that string forward while building cards with one for all to then continuously go with Pony. Next we have Hunter's Chop. It's a 1 mid-5, but it gets +1 speed for each of our face-down foundations. That's really fun, especially when we're building them mid-string with One for All Unleashed to really guarantee that this just punches through as hard as we can. And then we have Summon Nomus. I like this card because it's cheap. It's a 3 difficulty move. It says, as an enhance, your next card gets -2 difficulty, but your rival may commit 2 foundations to cancel this ability. So, effectively, we could play this, and if our rival doesn't want One for All Unleashed to be a 4 diff, so play it on a 5, rather than a 6, even as our second attack, playing it on a 5 instead of a 6 is really, really good. They have to commit 2 foundations, and then that's harder for them to block our longer string. For actions, I have Dark Tournament Looms. Again, this is just a really powerful action. You remove it as an enhance to add a card from your momentum to your hand and draw a card. So drawing another card, and as 1 card, this gets 2 cards in our hand, kind of a reverse Pony gaining horn counters ability. So that's really, really fun. No assets in this deck, no more actions. So moving on to foundations, I have Steadfast Resolve. So what do we want to do with all of these extra foundations we're getting? Well, we're not going to want to stay in deadlock, especially as a squishy 7-hander. So Steadfast Resolve, as a response, we can destroy a foundation. After an attack is played, it gets +1 or -1 damage. So putting a little bit more chip damage onto our attacks as we're committing the foundations that we're building in with One for All Unleashed. And One for All Unleashed gives us free face-down foundations that we can commit instead of some of these bigger, more powerful foundations. We've got American Exchange Student. This is her common foundation. You commit it, your attack gets +2 damage, and you get a horn counter. So 2 damage and a horn counter from 1 commit cost. I'd say that's pretty good in my book. We have Weapons Clash. You can destroy a face-down foundation as an enhance. This attack gets -1 or -2 damage to a minimum of 1. So defensively, using all of these free foundations that we've built to keep ourselves alive is really good. And in an emergency, you can flip this card to build the top card of your deck face-down committed, if you're going to need that extra foundation going into your next turn. We have High Spirit Awareness. On our rival's turn, we can flip this as an enhance to add a face-down foundation from our stage to our hand. So if we built a face-down with Weapons Clash and it was an attack, or we had to build an attack, or we have a good block zone in our stage face-down, we can pick that up during our rival's turn. It has a Kuwabara response. Our name's not Kuwabara, so we don't need to worry about that. We have Snap Out of It as a student first enhance. So the first enhance during your turn of your attack. So your turn only. And the first enhance during your attack, you can commit this card to unflip a foundation. So if you've built a foundation that you really want with One for All Unleashed, you can build it directly with Pony and One for All Unleashed, and then unflip it so it stays face up in your stage. If you wanted to do something like that, it's really, really powerful. We have Weightless. You can flip this foundation to ready a face-down foundation. Easy. Just continuing our string. We have number 10 Pro Hero. This is just a good 6-check foundation because we have 6 check attacks, so it makes sense to run 6 checks. Plus the 1 high block is really nice. We have Vast Strength. It's a powerful foundation that we can remove it. After an attack is played, it loses all non-keyword abilities. So anything that is not in your keyword area, like Echo or Stun, goes bye-bye. Really powerful. We have Defending Pageant Queen. We can remove this foundation as an enhance, reduce this attack speed to 1, make it really blockable, and then change its zone to whatever we need with Pony for our full blocks. We have Red Ride's the Coolest. This is just another way to get more damage on our attacks. It's a flip cost. This attack is +2 damage, and it's tenacious or playable while committed. So we don't have to worry about committing it during our strings. We have quick to act. We are a squishy 7-hander, so we're probably going to be at our desperation or less than half of our printed health pretty quickly. And that's free speed for every quick to act as long as we are below our half health. Press conference. This is a really fun foundation. You flip this, reveal a card in your hand. If the next attack you try to play has the same name as the attack you reveal, that attack gets -1 difficulty. So while playing our One for All Unleashed, we can play our Horn Cannon as a 4 diff instead of a 5. So that's pretty cool. Or our Hunter's Pursuit, stuff like that. Again, keeping our strings going. We have Any Means Necessary. This is a must-have for any Earth Pony deck, because this has a response that says if you discard this card during the enhanced step, draw 1 card. So Pony says, discard 2 cards, draw 2 cards, get 2 horn counters. It's as if we got our horn counters for free and cycled 2 cards we might not have needed. So that's really fun. We have Talented Baker for more speed as long as we've drawn a card during this combat phase. Pony draws a card with her discard 2, so that allows us more free speed on our attacks. And then Internship with Best Genist. This has a really fun Earth response that after we play this card, we get to mill a card and force our rival to flip a foundation. So yeah, that is this basic Pony deck. Honestly, I would probably, if I was going to build her more seriously and not just with this little fun gimmick, I'd probably find more ways to put more damage on my attacks, because Pony can give speed and clear cards. So you're going to want to be drawing more attacks and putting more damage on things. But honestly, this is one of the ones where I was like, okay, I'm just going to do the fun little One for All Unleashed gimmick. I don't know if this is the right way to play Pony, but it's certainly something she can do. So it's really fun to look into. Honestly, I might look into her on the fire symbol. I think that might have some things that are really good going for it. Because I don't think air can find the damage either, unless you're doing some very specific air things. But yeah, that is Pony Tsunotori and her One for All Unleashed gimmick strings. What do you guys think of this little bull lady? I think? Maybe. Because you will see that it is missing the her 5 diff. This says after you discard a card, it gets the attack is +1 damage for each card you discarded. That could be something good to play in, especially with the One for All Unleashed, but I thought my lineup might have been too 5 heavy at that point, and I wanted to play some more 4s and 3s that could lower their difficulty. But yeah, her rare could probably fit pretty well in here to help give that damage, that much needed damage bonus. So yeah, that is Pony Tsunotori. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please click like if you did, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.